Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Profit First. So, this is edition 76, believe it or not. With me today, I've got Paul Johnston of Arrival Lift. So, firstly, a big hello to you, Paul.
Hello there, Philip. How's it going?
Hi there. So, for the people that are actually watching this that don't know what you do and how you help people, perhaps you could explain a bit about yourself and what Arrival Lifts do.
Yeah, certainly. So I am the director of Arrival Lifts, and what we do is provide what we call the full spectrum of lift-related works. We aim to assist building owners or persons in charge of a particular portfolio or property to maintain the lift that's on their premises, ideally offering a tailor-made contract, which will include regular maintenance and service visits and also support them when their lift goes down. We will be the company that they call out. We will offer repair parts when smaller parts go down, and when the bigger parts wear down, we can offer modernisation and installation options as well, and ultimately give them the most competitive prices we can.
Fantastic, good stuff. So obviously a lot's gone on in the wider world in the last couple of years, especially 2020, if my memory serves me correctly. So how's your business sort of got on over that period?
Yeah, well, I do consider us one of the luckier ones where we were maintaining a basic service throughout that period, whereas I'm aware that some companies shut shop up and couldn't do a lot. Because we run a 24-hour business and support certain types that were continuing, for example, nursing homes, they were still operating during that period. It was a bit of a delicate type of premises to go in
I bet it was.
with COVID going around, but we couldn't, they got one lift perhaps on the property. If that goes down, their residents couldn't get back up to their rooms, couldn't come down from their rooms. So we continue to support them. Also lifts in residential blocks. People still needed to sort of go out and do their shopping, coming down from the 10th floor or something. So although business was cut down a little bit, we were still able to operate. So yeah, it was a bit of a lockdown situation, but we were still operating.
I can only imagine the sort of amount of PPE you had to put on going into those old people's homes. It must have been crazy.
Oh yes, and I'm not going to lie, that like the very when it first happened back in March 2020, I remember going into a couple of sites myself, and it was very nerve-wracking because no one really knew the situation back then, and it was almost don't touch anything. Am I even supposed to be breathing on the premises? But yes, it was very interesting times.
Oh my God. So how's the sort of business developed since then? And what changes have you made any had to make any changes since you've sort of come out of lockdown?
Well, for a while afterwards, there was obviously a lot of more stringent procedures to follow on, hygiene situations in reception areas. You couldn't go about with masks on. I mean, the nursing homes, as I mentioned before, in particular, for a very long time afterwards, you had to follow those set procedures. I remember engineers going there and us being informed that someone on the premises had COVID, and we were just trying to steer clear of certain areas and rooms. But I think for the majority, it has calmed down a lot now. A lot of things are optional now. You can obviously still wear masks on site, but it does feel like the world has got more into a normal working stance now. But we are obviously back up to a lot more normal running before that period of time.
Ah, that's good. That's good. So what would you say the sort of I mean, how I forgot to ask you actually, how long have you been established? How long has Arrival been going?
Yeah, certainly. Well, if you look to start, Arrival Lifts was established in 2017, but my dad, who has been in the lift industry or was in the lift industry pretty much all his life, is now retired. He started up a company in the mid 90s, and I started working for that company after I left school and college. And to a certain extent, we've got portfolios that we had on board since the early 2000s that are with us today.
Wow.
So it is a company that has got 20 to 25 years experience and build up. We just made the decision to rebrand when my dad retired, just for a bit more of a universal name. So yeah, we have really got 20, 25 years experience with doing the same stuff and with similar clients as well.
Fantastic. And how many guys have you got working for you at the moment?
At the moment, there is a total of seven main people that work for us. We do utilise subcontractors for certain jobs, which is a normal procedure for lift companies anyway, dealing with the more major, bigger equipment on lifts, such as lift motors and things like that. And we've got reliable contractors or subcontractors that we've been using for years. So we sort of regard that as a bit of an extension to our team as well.
Great, great. So it sounds interesting actually. So you've had subcontractors you've been working with for years, team that have been working with you for a while, and also clients that you've had since back in the sort of 2000s as well. So you must be doing something right. So well done for that, firstly, because a lot of people struggle with client and staff retention. So that's obviously not a challenge for you, which is great. So
I mean, we have had people come and go, don't get me wrong, but
absolutely,
yes,
absolutely.
we still managed to tick along either way.
That's good stuff. So, in terms of what sort of wins have you had in over the last sort of year, if you like? What sort of wins would you say you've had in the business?
Yeah, so I mean, there's one that we've been particularly proud of actually. There's a hotel that's over Westminster. It's called the St Ermin's Hotel, and we won a tender for that near the end of last year, around September, October time, for the maintenance of 8 lifts on their property, including possible upgrade works coming up. But it was actually literally, I think it was today, I was looking on LinkedIn and they were putting a post up that they've got on Travel Advisor. They're marked as one of the top 20 hotels in London. So
Wow,
it does feel a very prestigious contract to be involved in. But yeah, we have done some wins on some boutique hotel chains and some more residential properties. We do tend to have a quite nice outreach from new inquiries that are looking for an alternative lift company to take care of their needs as well. So yeah, some good examples there.
good, good. So in terms of, I mean, you mentioned some residential work and commercial. I was just guessing that you were purely commercial. That's obviously not true. So what sort of balances between commercial and resi would you have at the moment, do you reckon?
Yeah, I would say it does feel like a 50-50 balance.
Okay.
I mean, we are trying to do more of an outreach of residential properties, to be honest with you, at the moment. But we have got, yeah, so I'd say a good 50-50% of commercial properties on our portfolio as well. But as I say, we do hotels, nursing homes, schools, gyms and leisure centres as well that sort of fall within those two categories, I suppose.
Okay. So and what sort of geographical region do you work within? I didn't ask you that before.
Yeah, we do pretty much all London and the surrounding areas. A comfortable travel margin for us would be a 2-hour travel within London. But we have got the ability to cover pretty much the southern region of the UK, and even in some examples, because I mean, were we dealing with portfolio type jobs, a gym chain that we do, I mean, we've done a couple of jobs up in Newcastle. Those types of situations, we do rely on the subcontractors that we do use, but as I say, depending on the inquiry and what we can look to do for them, we do feel like we've got quite a broad outreach.
Amazing. Okay. So you've given us a rough idea. The last two questions, one of them is totally spoiled it. You've given me the answer to it already. But when you mentioned the types of businesses you work with, that's pretty clear from what you said. But in terms of the sort of roles within those businesses, what sort of roles would people have within those businesses that you would like to speak to or would benefit from speaking with you?
Yeah, certainly. So in property maintenance companies, you do quite often have block maintenance chapters. So any particular PMs or facilities management that might be operating under them types of circumstances. With nursing homes and hotels that we do, normally the people that are running it are quite sort of bogged down as such with stuff, and we have gotten our foots in the door per se, and some initial communication going with the caretakers in the background, and gone to meet them specifically on site more than anything else. With say commercial properties, it's a little bit more challenging because you normally have more of a maybe property development company that's in charge of them overall. So it's sometimes getting hold of those names. It's the old example, if you walk off the street into one of these premises and you see someone on the reception desk, they're not always the people that are in the know-how. They're just operating the reception desk of who would be the ultimate person to speak to that would be in charge of such decisions. So it can sometimes be a little bit challenging to locate them and pin them down to have them conversations. So it's quite a varied range, and that is part and parcel of the everyday expansion program, trying to find those persons in charge to have those conversations.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully there are a few people that fit your ideal customer profile that are watching this video right now, Paul. Final question I've got for you, mate, is how best can people reach you if they want to speak to you about what you do and how you can help them?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, email and mobile communication are two high ways. I'm the sort of person that does have my work phone never too far away from me because we're a 24-hour company, and even if I don't answer on first ring, if it's after hours or a weekend, if they ever kindly leave a voicemail, I'm normally very keen to get back to people very quickly, even on an out of hours situation. Being a family-centric company, we find that communication very important and imperative. But beyond that, we're on LinkedIn is the other primary way, social media-wise, to sort of get hold of us. And hopefully Google platforms as well will be
Good.
coming up as well. So
Amazing. Okay. Well, what I'll do is, with your permission, Paul, is I will add your number and your email address into the comments below on LinkedIn once this has been posted. Is that okay?
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Amazing. Well, for now, thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciate you spending this Friday afternoon, late Friday afternoon with me. And yeah, catch up soon.
No worries. It's been a pleasure, Phil. Thank you.
No problem. Take care, mate. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.